Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I have my DôEN collection video that I promised you a couple of weeks ago now. I'm filming in the new house. I haven't set up my filming room properly yet, although I do have my new rail, but this room is going to be having a little bit of a makeover in the next probably month or so once everything arrives and I get to paint it, etc. So if you do want to follow along with the home renovation content, I have started a vlog series. If you didn't see the first episode last week, I'll leave it linked down below. Highly recommend going and watching that. I'm so glad so many of you enjoyed the first episode and are excited for the home content mixed in with the fashion content as well. But today we are talking DôEN. So I have all of my DôEN pieces on my lovely new rail. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces in total from the brand. Obviously DôEN is an expensive brand. Anytime I make a DôEN purchase, it is a really big investment for me unless I find it secondhand, which actually quite a few of these pieces were found secondhand. But I really like to see reviews of the pieces before I make the purchase. And there aren't actually that many videos, especially on YouTube, talking about DôEN. So I thought I would give my 2 cents, tell you what I've enjoyed, what I've tried, what I avoid from the brand. So if you are going to make a purchase in the future, this might be helpful. I'll go through sizing, I'll go through whether I found it new or secondhand, what I think of it, if I'd recommend it, if I'd buy it again, that kind of thing. The dress I'm wearing now is actually Christy Dawn, not DôEN, but I couldn't resist putting it on for this video because it is a beautiful dress, very DôEN-like. It is the Ricardo dress from Christy Dawn. So pretty. I actually really highly recommend this one over a white dress from DôEN because I do find that Christy Dawn pretty much always line their dresses and their skirts. This one is lined at the bottom, whereas DôEN don't, and I will come on to that in a second because it is one of my bugbears of the brand. But yes, let's get started. I think I will start with dresses and then we'll get into tops, jackets, cardigans and skirts. If you have any questions, anything I don't cover in today's video, of course the comments is the place to go. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe if you're not already. And let's start off with the first DôEN dress in my collection. Okay, so this dress is one of the many ones I found secondhand. I bought this a couple of months ago on eBay. I was looking for this particular print. I was almost going to buy this new because I absolutely adore this print. This is their Wildberry Thicket print, and it's actually a print that they released, I think originally in 2019, and then they brought it back in 2025 in a couple of different styles. This is the Iskia dress in the Wildberry Thicket, and this one, as I said, I got secondhand. Now the Iskia dress in the UK retails at I think about £350. It does depend on the print. So it is a very pricey dress. I got this one for £150 and it was new with tags. So I was really happy with that, and it is how I get a lot of my DôEN dresses. So this one is in a size small. Now I'm going to talk to you about the Iskia because I have 3 Iskias in my collection. I have this one. I also have this one, which is a beautiful print. I don't know what the name of this print is, but this is probably, I was gonna say it's my favorite, but this is my favorite for autumn and this is my favorite for spring. But I love this one as well. I got this one new on Net-a-Porter. And then I also have the original Iskia that I bought last year in the classic blue shade. I think I bought this on DôEN directly, but I do have them in different sizes. So when I try them on, you'll be able to see if there is any difference. I have these 2 in a size medium, which is the size I would choose if I could choose the size. Because I got this one at a second hand, it was in a small. I decided to risk it because the Iskia is really accommodating. It has a lot of adjustability to it and a lot of stretch. So I figured I might be able to get away with the small. But yeah, my true size in most DôEN dresses is a medium. So this is the Wildberry Thicket Iskia on. As you can see, it fits fine. If I stand all the way back, I have so much more space in this house to show you full length shots. It fits me really well. It is slightly tighter than the medium in the arms, but again, because they are elastic, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. And because I have a small bust anyway, the bust is absolutely fine in the size small for me. So I will say, if you're looking at the Iskia, especially if you're looking secondhand, don't be put off by getting a size up or down from your usual. I could probably do a large in this as well, and it would be absolutely fine. I absolutely love this. I am 5'5" for reference, so the Iskia comes basically to my ankles. It is a full length dress. And then the adjustability, it has 2 different little ties in the middle. So you have this one at almost, I guess it's just a bit above the waist that you can adjust. You can pull in here, and all of these drawstrings are real. They do pull in the dress. And then you have the one at the bust as well, so you can tighten or you can loosen this if you have a bigger bust. I always have to do it quite tight, but yeah, that is the first dress. This has to be one of my favourite styles from DÔEN. If I see an Iskia in a new print, they bring it out in so many prints. If I see one in a print I love, I usually do snap it up because I know that I love the fit. They're so easy to wear, they're so easy to style. You can chuck a denim jacket over this. I wore this with a long wool coat and some knee-high boots back in February, so you can dress them kind of for the winter as well with some tights underneath. So they are quite versatile, and I love this print for autumn. More of their prints are obviously quite summery, but I like that this one is very autumn winter. I think it's so pretty. And they do have a new polka dot one, which I definitely have my eye on. I love the polka dot one in the navy, but they also have the white polka dot, and apparently the white one is lined. Most of their dresses are not lined, so I would say the see-through ability of them varies depending on the print, but the majority of them are not lined. But apparently that new polka dot white one is lined, so that makes me want to try it even more. For the Wildberry Thicket in particular, I would say this one is not overly see-through. I do tend to wear it most in the autumn with tights, so that obviously doesn't matter as much, but I would give it probably a 3 or a 4 out of 10 in terms of see-throughness. It is probably, if you shined a light directly at it, you might be able to see through, but because it's a darker print, even though it is a thin material, I don't think you really have to worry about what you wear underneath. The second Iskia I have is the bright blue one, which I bought last summer. I bought this directly from DÔEN themselves. I tend to shop at Net-a-Porter when I can, because that way you get free returns in the UK, whereas if you do order from DÔEN in the UK, all the taxes and duties are included, so you don't have to pay anything extra. But if you want to return something, you do have to pay for shipping, and it is really expensive. I think it's about £30, because that includes them like going through the process of the duties and stuff like that. So it's like a prepaid label, but a really expensive one. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this video, so that you don't have to do as many returns if you are outside the US. But yeah, I really like this one. This is in a size medium, so you can see the difference. Honestly, the fit difference is very minimal. It feels pretty much the same tightness on the sleeves, to be honest. And again, because you have the adjustability here and here, you can kind of pull it in or loosen it depending on your preference. I will say it's probably a tiny bit longer than the small on me, which makes sense, probably an inch or so longer, but otherwise it is pretty much the same. And I do think that the solid coloured ones need steaming a little bit more than the patterned ones. I feel like because it's a solid colour, you can kind of see creases more easily in this one, but otherwise I have no complaints. Last but not least for the Iskia, we have this beautiful, very spring-like floral one. This one, as I mentioned, I bought on Net-a-Porter quite recently. I saw this on Kate Spears on her Instagram last summer, because it did come out about a year ago, and I really loved it, and I just thought, you know what, I would like a new spring dress. Why don't I get this one, as I love the shape so much. This one is also in a size medium. It fits exactly the same as the blue one, and I would say this one is slightly more see-through, I guess because it's a lighter print. I feel like it's probably a 5 out of 10 on the see-through scale. It isn't super see-through, it's not obviously, but I think in the certain lights you might be able to see like the whole shape of your leg underneath. So I would probably just be a little bit more careful about what you wear underneath with this one, but it's definitely not the worst culprit when it comes to DÔEN and their see-through dresses. This might be my favourite of the three, but you'll have to let me know. But yeah, I cannot recommend the Iskia enough. If you're going to buy one dress from DÔEN, depending on obviously your preference, but if you like that very DÔEN vibe, I feel like this is just quintessential them. It is their most DÔEN dress. And yeah, I don't think any of the other styles quite compare. And they do it in so many prints every season, and also you can find so many old prints secondhand, like I did. Well, this isn't an old print technically, it's a re-release, but like I did with the Wildberry Thicket one. I'm sure if you're in the US there's even more availability secondhand, but even in the UK on Vinted and a little bit on eBay and Vestiaire, you can find quite a few DÔEN dresses and prints, so definitely check secondhand before you pay full price. Let's move on to my second favourite dress style from DÔEN, and that is the Emirata dress. I have two Emirata dresses. One I bought secondhand, this one, and one I bought last year, I think almost towards the autumn time, and I believe I also bought this from Net-a-Porter. So I love the Emirata. Now the Emirata is basically the Iskia that I'm wearing now without the sleeves. It has a very similar bodice and skirt, it just obviously doesn't have any sleeves, which is probably why I love it so much, because I love the Iskia. I have this dark blue floral one, which I just fell in love with. I overpaid for this considering it was secondhand. I paid almost I think it was £270, which is outrageous for a second-hand DôEN dress. However, I wanted this print so much that I ended up just caving and doing it. And then I bought this one on Net-a-Porter, as I said. Now it does retail, I think, for about £300 to £330 in the UK. So obviously I did still get, you know, a good saving on this one, but it just felt very steep for a second-hand dress. But either way, I do love it. So I'll try these on now and I can show you the difference between the Iskia and the Emirata. Here we have the Emirata. So this is the Iskia without the sleeves. As I said, it is so pretty. I do absolutely love the blue floral. I'm very pleased that I did finally pick this up secondhand. I was stalking it for probably about 4 or 5 months before I bit the bullet, but it's just a really pretty darker floral. I feel like it's really good for all seasons. Obviously it is a sleeveless dress, so you have these little straps here. Now you can kind of see your bra depending on what bra you wear, but I do think you don't have to wear a bra with a lot of these dresses depending on your bust size. I can probably get away without, but I am wearing one now. But you can kind of see it because it kind of comes in here. You can kind of see it at the edges. But either way, I really like this one. Obviously a sleeveless dress is great for peak summer, but I do love to layer these with a denim jacket or a cardigan in the spring and the autumn as well. I also wear this with like layers like a cardigan, a coat and some boots in the winter even when it is milder. This jacket actually I forgot to include in my collection, but it is technically Gap for DôEN or DôEN for Gap. So it kind of counts as a DôEN piece, but I wear this all the time. It's got this blue corduroy collar, very oversized with slightly balloony sleeves, but I really like wearing this with my dresses as well. And yeah, it's a great way to layer them up for the milder weather in the UK. The Emirata I'm wearing now is a size medium. I also take a medium in the Emirata. I would say it fits pretty much exactly the same as the Iskia, so whatever size you get for the Iskia, you can also get for the Emirata. Lengthwise, I would say it is also exactly the same. It is kind of ankle length on me. Let me show you the other pattern I have in the Emirata, and then we can move on to the third dress style that I have from DôEN. This is the second Emirata. As you can see, it has the same 2 ties as the Iskia does, so you can tighten them at the waist and at the bust. These do sometimes come undone, that's the only thing I will say. So you have to tie them quite tight. I feel like this one is a great colourway for autumn. I think because it has those browns in it and a little bit of red. I feel like it's just a nice colour for spring as well, but particularly for autumn. I could definitely pop it on with like a brown suede bag, and I think it looks really good with the texture that is more autumnal. So a nice versatile one as well. I have also worn this one with suede boots and a coat. So yeah, you can definitely layer them up even though they are very lightweight. I like to make the most of them because they are so expensive. This one I bought full price, so I bought it on Net-a-Porter. Again, I think it's still available. A lot of these, even though they are old stock, they do tend to stick around on Net-a-Porter especially. Not so much on DôEN themselves, but if you look on Net-a-Porter or any of those kind of brand websites, they do tend to stay around for a long time, for like a couple of years. I think there are dresses on there that have been there for 2 or 3 years. So if you're after an older style, I definitely recommend looking there, even if it isn't available anymore on DôEN, the actual website. The next dress style I have to show you, I think this is called the Kira or the Kira. I will put the name on screen because I'm actually forgetting exactly what it's called. This one I bought on Vinted for I think £75. Again, retails for around £3 to £3.50 mark. Like the others. But yeah, it's a similar style to the Iskia, but it's got a slightly longer, slightly different sleeve. This one I also got in a size small because it was on Vinted and I just couldn't resist because it was such a good deal. And I thought if it doesn't fit, I can always resell it. But actually, again, because it has so much adjustability to it, I can fit into the small absolutely fine, even with these slightly tighter ruched sleeves. So I will show you what this one looks like on. So this is the beautiful green dress. Again, name will be on screen. In a size small, this one almost feels a little bit bigger than the others in the small, so I would say you could definitely size down in this one. It has the tighter ruched sleeves, but for some reason it feels a little bit looser in the chest area. I don't know if that's because it's already been worn and maybe someone stretched it out slightly, not sure. But as I said, this was a Vinted bargain for £75. Was really pleased with it, and it is very pretty. It is very similar to the Iskia, but the sleeve situation I would say is like a little bit more dramatic. It's a little bit more of a statement because it is a longer sleeve, it is more ruched, but then you do still have the exact same situation here with the 2 drawstrings that you can tighten at the waist and the bust. Lengthwise, this one I would say is very similar. It is also basically ankle length. And see-through wise, this one I don't think is see-through at all. It's obviously a darker colour, but it also feels like a tiny bit of a thicker material compared to the Iskia or the Emirata. Not actually sure, it might just be a darker colour, but either way you don't have to worry in this darker print or any of the darker prints really about see-throughness. I think I do prefer the Iskia for whatever reason. It feels maybe a little bit more wearable, a little bit more casual for every day, but I still do really like this one. It's just if I was looking at DôEN and they had the same style in the same, the different styles in the same pattern, I would lean towards the Iskia over this one. But if I found this one secondhand for a good price like I did this one, I would definitely snap it up as well. The final DôEN dress I have in my collection is the Quintessa dress. And I'm ashamed to admit, I have actually never taken the tag off this one. I've gone to wear it a couple of times and then changed my mind. Well, I was going to say not sure why. I think it's because this one is more of like a cotton poplin, whereas these are more of a thinner cotton. I'm not sure what you would call it. This is definitely thicker and more kind of rigid, which is great because it isn't see-through. So this one you don't have to worry about at all. But I find them a little bit less wearable. There's a little bit less drape to this kind of cotton and relaxed kind of ease. It feels a little bit more rigid and a little bit more formal almost. So I haven't actually worn this out the house, which is really sad because I love the colour of it. But I still have it in my collection because I still will wear it for the right occasion. So let me show you what the Quintessa looks like on. Putting this on, I am really wondering why I haven't worn it yet. It is stunning, I love it. The colour obviously lends itself to autumn winter, so I've kind of missed the boat on that, but I would definitely will wear this in the summer as well. It is a beautiful dress. As I said, it's a cotton poplin, so it feels a little bit thicker, more rigid. One thing I forgot to mention is none of these dresses have pockets, which is a bummer. That's one of the reasons I love Christy Dawn, because all of their dresses, every single style I think, have pockets, whereas none of the DôEN ones that I have anyway do. The other difference, or the other thing to mention, is that this one is the only dress I own from DôEN that doesn't have the waist tie. So it doesn't have any drawstring at the waist, it does have the drawstring at the bust, but it does have this stretchy panel here. It is also a different sleeve. It's like a, what do they call it, a bracelet sleeve. So it isn't quite a 3/4 length, but it isn't quite full length. It just stops just above my wrist bone. So I do quite like that actually, because you do get to show off any watches or jewellery, bracelets that you might be wearing. It is really pretty. The length, it is similar, I would say. It is pretty much ankle length as well, and it feels really comfortable. I have this one in a size medium, so my typical DôEN size, and it's really lovely. It actually feels a little bit more comfortable than the others, I think, because it doesn't have the ruching on the sleeves, and it doesn't quite have as much ruching even around the bust. So it feels a little bit more comfortable to wear. Now I've put this on, I think I'm definitely going to reach for this soon because it is really pretty. Obviously not see-through in this dark burgundy colour. I believe this dress also comes in a black, which would be great if you like the DôEN vibe, but you have a little bit more of a minimalistic kind of monochrome style. If you have this dress in black, it's kind of the best of both worlds. And I think that's still available on Net-a-Porter. I bought this one directly from DôEN back in the late summer, early autumn last year. It was quite expensive. I want to say it might be, no, I don't think it's more expensive than the Iskia. I think it's around the same price, that £300 to £350 mark. Again, it does depend on seemingly the season, the colour you go for, that kind of thing, but it is around the same price point as all of the DôEN dresses, but very pretty nonetheless. Those are all of my DôEN dresses. Those are all the DôEN dresses in my collection. I will now move on to the other bits and bobs. I have to show you the, what's this called, the Petra cardigan, because I do have this in 3 different colours. I'm kind of a little bit obsessed with this cardigan from DôEN. So I have the recent edition of this beautiful blush pink colour. I have the green, this like apple pistachio green, and then the gorgeous, this is the first one I got, the gorgeous sky blue. I love this shade of blue so much. So this is another staple for DôEN. They do this every season in a variety of different colours. It has these pretty little shell buttons, and then it is a mix of, I believe it's wool, polyamide and mohair or alpaca. I will put the composition on screen, but it is one of those classic blends. Usually I don't like those cardigans. It's kind of like the DôEN version of the Gaspard cardigan by Suzanne, but a lot more expensive. But I find the fit of this one, there's something about it that I really love, and that is why I justify paying the stupid price tag for it, because you just can't replicate this fit, or at least I haven't found a brand that have replicated this fit on my body personally. I think it's personal preference depending on your body shape, your height, your size, but I really like this cardigan on my body. It's a little bit cropped, but it isn't too cropped. It's great to wear with skirts, but I can also wear it with jeans. I can even pop it on over dresses if I want to as well. And it comes in the most beautiful colours. I feel like the colour selection at DÔEN, they're all these like really soft, almost pastel-y colours, are just so pretty. There's a new one I saw, a yellow one, which is so pretty, but I don't think I need a fourth. I feel like I will stick with my 3 lovely ones. So I'm going to show you what this looks like on, and I think I'm going to pair it with a skirt. I do have the Sebastian skirt from DôEN here to show you. Now this one I ordered recently, it's still got the tags on, because I tried this skirt a couple of years ago, because literally everyone raves about this skirt. Everyone who loves DôEN has this skirt seemingly. So I tried it a couple of years ago and I just thought it was too see-through, so I sent it back, and then recently I had a hankering to try it again. I thought maybe I was imagining things the first time, just because so many people rave about it. So I tried to order it again, and it is definitely, I don't know if you can see, I think you can kind of tell how see-through it is, and it isn't lined at all either. So I think I will probably send this one back again, but I did want to try it partly for my own peace of mind because I would love to like it, because I love the detail of it. And also for this video, because it is probably like the most infamous DôEN piece of all of their items. Ooh, it's not staying on the hanger. So I really wanted to try it for you, just to show you what it looks like, to talk about the fit, because the fit of this one is definitely small compared to all of their other pieces. This one is my size, this is an extra large. So I take an extra large in this, and then a medium in most of the dresses. I've got a large in the cardigans, so you do have to be a little bit careful about sizing, because some of it can be a little bit all over the place. But yeah, I will try this on with the cardigans just to show you what it looks like, but I probably won't be keeping the skirt myself. Let's start with the positive, let's start with the cardigan. I just love these cardigans. I know they're overpriced, I know they're just knit cardigans, but there's something about the fit. I do like to maybe unbutton the bottom button, or even the bottom two, depending on how high-waisted what I'm wearing is. I quite often wear it this way with jeans, but you can also do them up and it does look cute as well, because it is that kind of cropped, slouchy but not too oversized fit. I'm wearing a size large, and I feel like the large is the best fit for me. I have tried the extra large before and it was just a little bit too baggy on me, so I would say go for your true size or the upper end of your true size. It's just really pretty, it's comfortable. One thing to say is I don't find them itchy at all, even though they do have that fluffy mohair or alpaca, I can't remember which, texture to them. There's something about them that do just feel softer than anything I've tried from the likes of Cézanne or Rouge or other brands using these materials. Maybe that's why it's more expensive, or maybe it's just overpriced, I'm not sure. But either way, I really love them, and I've worn all of mine so much. I just pop them on with jeans when I don't know what to wear, and I like to put a little white tee under them as well sometimes to have that little pop of white at the neck. I think that looks quite nice. Moving on to the skirt, I will say I think it is so pretty. If I step back, I can see why it's so popular. It's such a cute white maxi skirt. I love the detail on the bottom, on the trim, but otherwise it's quite simple. It's just got these tiers. It fits really well. Now I am, as I said, wearing an extra large, so I would say size up in this, because this fits perfectly on my waist, and I have tried the large before, which would be my usual size, and it was just too tight. So I would say the Sebastian skirt does run small. Now I don't know if you can tell this is see-through on camera, I hope not, but it is quite see-through, and obviously it isn't lined. It is just one thin panel of cotton, and definitely even with nude underwear you can kind of see outlines under it. So unless you're prepared to wear a slip with this, I wouldn't recommend it. You can definitely find other white cotton maxi skirts. There are so many on the market these days, and there are so many that are lined, or at least are a lot thicker, so you don't have to worry about that. So I just think for the price point it isn't worth it, but I have to say it is a very pretty skirt. I wish they had lined it so I could keep it, because I love the style of it. So this is what it looks like with the pink cardigan, the green cardigan, and the blue cardigan. This one might be my favourite. And last but certainly not least, we have the Pascal jacket. This I have in this really gorgeous caramel brown colour from last autumn. I also bought this from DÔEN directly. It's a little bit of an impulse buy. Now, as you can see, it is very oversized. I don't normally wear this with dresses, although I definitely feel like you can for that kind of slouchy, relaxed, dress it down vibe. But I usually wear this with jeans and a top as like a chore jacket kind of situation in the transitional seasons. I'm wearing a size small, so I would definitely say if you do want to try the Pascal, size down, maybe even 2 sizes if you don't want something really oversized or if you are petite, because it is huge. A size small on me is definitely still very oversized. I do really like it. It's a really fun chore jacket. Can you get cheaper alternatives? Yes, but sometimes they don't hit quite the same. But I probably wouldn't buy this again in another colour. I feel like it's a one and done situation, but I do really like it and I do wear it quite a lot. Again, it has the corduroy collar and the corduroy cuffs. It comes in loads of colours depending on the collection. They've brought it out in a really fun red colour this season, which I do really like, but I also like the classic brown for something a little bit more neutral. That is everything I currently own from DÔEN, all of my DÔEN pieces, what I love to buy from them. If I had any top recommendations, it would definitely be the Iskia dress. If you're just going to get one dress from them, would probably skip the Sebastian skirt or any of their unlined, really sheer white items in particular. I also love the Pascal jacket, and to be honest, I love the Emirata and the, what's this called? Petra cardigan as well. I would recommend all of those, but definitely look secondhand before you spend full price, because there are so many pieces on the secondhand market to be found. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.